It's review part 3. Oh, every single video, I keep forgetting to click on the pen. Review part 3. In this, we're going to be going over the last of the problems of 13, 14, 15, and 18. All the other problems you don't have to worry about. You're not going to be tested on those. So we're just going to go over 13, 14, 15, and 18. There's 4 problems in this one. Let's get started right away. Problem number 13 is for sine squared x minus 3 is equal to 0. Let's start solving. Let's add 3 to both sides. Divide both sides by 4. Take the square root. And while I do that, I'm going to make sure I do not forget my plus or minus. We know that square root of 3 is just 3, but square root of 4 is in fact 2, so we have plus or minus square root of 3 over 2. So it's like we have sine of x is equal to positive square root of 3 over 2, and sine of x is equal to negative square root of 3 over 2. So when I use sine inverse for both of these, so the question's asking here is at what angle, because there's more than one answer, is the y value root 3 over 2 or negative root 3 over 2? So for our positive answers, we are going to get pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3. For our negative answers, we're going to get 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So when I put my answers into a solution set, I get pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, and 5 pi over 3. I like this problem because it's not too long, but there's still a lot of technical stuff in here. So please make sure you are showing all of your steps and following along. Next, we have problem number 14. Move this all the way up. Problem number 14 is cosine of 2x times 2 cosine of x plus 1 is equal to 0. So I really like this one because it's already factored for us. I know that one of these factors has to be 0. Why not both? So I'm just going to divide the workspace here and set both of these factors equal to 0. Now, another thing I like about this problem is if you've been watching through all my videos, the review videos, or if you've been working along, you'll notice that where is it? Haha, lightsaber. You'll notice that the right side here is actually the exact same problem as problem number 5 from my first video. So I'm going to go through that side just really quick. Let's see, we're going to subtract 1 on both sides. Divide both sides by 2, use cosine inverse, and you should get the answers there. Oh, I lost something. Oh, no, sorry, there it is. And you should get the answers of 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So that is for that side. However, we now have to deal with this other side with a double angle. So when I use my cosine inverse here, we get 2x is equal to cosine inverse of 0. Or for 2 full rotations, at what angles are the x values 0? So for our first rotation, we get pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. That's our first thing in our unit circle. But we're not just looking at x, we're looking at our double angle. So we will also be saying that at 5 pi over 2 and at 7 pi over 2, our x values are also 0. But then from here, we either need to multiply everything by 1/2 or divide everything by 2. So I'll just show that here real quick. You can kind of make a triple angle, or a triple fraction. And you should get the answer of x is equal to pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4. So when I put it all together into a solution set, you get pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and 7 pi over 4. I hope you know your fractions, because putting those in order, not always easy. All right, just 2 more left for the whole review. You got this. I believe in you. Our next one is problem number 15. Oh, beg my pardon. 15. Let's see. I just want to make sure. I have 2 different versions of the review, and I want to make sure our versions are still the same. Yep, they're the same. Okay, good. All right, so number 15. We have 3 tangent squared x minus 1 times tangent squared x minus 3 is equal to 0. Again, we have 2 factors here. We don't have to worry about factoring anything. Let's set these both equal to 0 and solve. So I'm going to divide my workspace. Okay, so we'll have 3 tangent squared x minus 1 is equal to 0. Tangent squared x minus 3 is equal to 0. So I'm going to do the right side first. I'm going to start by adding 3 to both sides. And then I'm going to square root both sides, not forgetting that plus or minus. So I end up with tangent x is equal to, oops, did the plus or minus too early, is equal to plus and minus square root of 3. So I can separate this into 2 problems. Tangent of x is equal to square root of 3. Tangent of x is equal to negative square root of 3. Apply tangent inverse to both sides for both of the problems. So again, you may not be as familiar with your tangent. That is fine. This may take you a little bit more time. Do what you can. But for our positive side, you're going to get x is equal to pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. And for our negative side here, you're going to get 2 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Again, you do not have to separate these out into the positive version and the negative version. I just find that that helps me, but you do not have to. But that is for our right side. For our left side, I'm going to start by adding 1 to both sides. Divide both sides by 3. Square root both sides. Plus or minus. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted. There we go. All right. So tangent of x is equal to positive and negative version of square root of 1 over 3, which is the same as plus or minus 1 over square root of 3. Ooh, I'm running out of space. Gotta rationalize, multiply top and bottom by square root of 3. And we end up with the positive and negative version of square root of 3 over 3. So if we separate these out into their 2 separate problems, we get tangent of x is equal to the positive square root of 3 over 3, and tangent of x is equal to negative square root of 3 over 3. So just like I did for my right side, I'm going to use tangent inverse for both of these problems. And feel free to pause the video at any time in case you just want to do the work for yourself. But I'll just tell you that right now the answers for your positive side are pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6. And your answers for your negative side are going to be 5 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. So now we have to take all of our answers from both sides and bring them together into one solution set. So you should have 8 answers total. And from least to greatest, your answer should be pi over 6, pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and 11 pi over 6. I think this one was also very difficult. Okay, we've got one problem left. Let's call this a cool down problem because it's definitely not as much as this last one was. But it is in fact another tangent problem though, because I feel like that's where we feel our weakest. So let's take a look at problem number 18 together. That is 1 minus 3/5 tangent of x is equal to 5 plus square root of 3 over 5. And some of you might be going, why is there so many fractions? And some of you might be going, didn't we already do this at one point? Yes, for some of us, we already did this during a Zoom meeting, but not everyone was there for that or in that particular class. So let's go through it again. Let's see, let's start by, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this 1 right here. I'm going to change that into just a 5 over 5 and subtract that on both sides. So we end up with a negative 3/5 tangent of x is equal to 5 plus the square root of 3 minus 5 over 5. It's just kind of combining those there. And you got a plus 5 and a minus 5, which is highly convenient. So we get negative 3/5 tangent x is equal to square root of 3 over 5. And from here, you can do a few things. You can do this all in one step or in two. So you can multiply by negative 5/3 on both sides, or you can multiply both sides by 5 and then divide both sides by negative 3, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to undo that because it's in the wrong color. I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. Those will cancel, as will this. So I end up with negative 3 tangent of x is equal to square root of 3, and then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3, and we get tangent of x is equal to negative root 3 over 3, and it's like, Miss Twain, we just did this in the problem above. Yes, we did, but we did this and many other things. So from here, we got x is equal to tangent inverse of negative root 3 over 3, and if you can take a look at the problem above, we know that the answers to this are 5 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6, which means that our solution set for this problem is going to be much smaller, and like I said, this was much faster than our other problems. Congratulations, you've made it. I don't have any special words for you because our next lesson is just the test, and you're not going to be popping in to share any words. Oop. Pardon me, that was just an alarm. So, take a moment, celebrate that you got through this. Go grab a snack or something. Let me know if you have any questions.